Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Grand Cat and I have ordered some new Cardfight cards. So it is now time for us to open these up and let you get a quick little glimpse into what nonsense I have in store. So I think this is going to be a bit of spoilers depending on when I upload this video, because I think a lot of this I'm going to be using this weekend in KC. So I need to bring out these, but not bring out the little paper bit inside. There we go, because the paper bit would most likely have my address on it, and I don't really want that getting out of the internet, if it can be avoided. So, let's go with this side first. I know what's in these, but I don't know what is in what side. Also, I ordered this yesterday, and it arrived already, so it's very, very cool to see, very, very efficient shipping. Let's see what all of these glorious cards are. So this can sit over here for just now, and we'll just go over it from the top. So we have effect draw triggers for Record of Ragnarock. There should be 4 of those. I'm only seeing 3 here, but there hopefully will be 4 of them. We have 4 of Instinctive Stance Adam, of course, also from Record Ragnarok. We have a singular starting Vanguard for Record Ragnarok. We have 3 Eves, which there should be a 4th one, but that will hopefully be foil. We have 4 Eldest Son Cain, or the Older Son Cain. We have 4 of the Cheering Second Son Abel, who, of course, was the first person to be murdered in the Bible. We have 1 Record of Ragnarok Rare, Adam, which is very, very cool to see, the grade 3. We have a Record of Ragnarok Rare Over Trigger as well, which is very, very glorious. So we're going to go over here with the triggers. We have the Record of Ragnarok Crit Effect Trigger. There we have the Record of Ragnarok Draw Trigger, or the Effect Draw Trigger. And we have the Record of Ragnarok Eve, which will go nicely in there. And we also have the very, very cool SP of the 7th Valkyrie sister. I don't think I'm going to try and pronounce that. Let's see. Rainleaf? I'm not sure. But this is a very, very important part of the Adam deck. This is the Valkyrie that helps out Adam, that turns into the Knuckle Dusters form, if you've seen the show. We have 2 of this Adam, which is the Interceptor, which is if you're grade 3, is a greater Vanguard, is a man or Valkyrie. This unit gets plus 5,000 on Guardian Circle, so 10k guard. We have 1 regular crit, which will go over here. It'll just be a little bit off camera. We have the 4 heals, which of course is necessary for every Vanguard deck. We have this, which is currently a proxy for the other grade 1, which was the only card that I couldn't get. It's a triple rare of Brunhild, and its effect is when it's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for either a man or a Valkyrie with the Arms ability. What is it called? It's got a specific name here. With the Vulnder ability. And if it's on Rearguard Circle, you discard a card from your hand, but if it's on Vanguard Circle, you don't discard, you just Soul Blast 1 and you search the card. So we're going to be proxying this as the card until I can get that triple rare Brunhild. So we're going to put you over here, because this is the right line, essentially. And we have 2 of the Record of Ragnarok Adams that have the Intercept, plus 5k shield. And we have 3 Record of Ragnarok regular crits as well. So I'm not sure exactly how many triggers I'm going to be playing. I know I'm going to be playing 16 triggers, obviously. I don't know which triggers I'm going to be playing. so I wanted to get myself a whole bunch of them. So, once this is all sorted, we're going to look over this as a full deck, and I'm going to show you what it is that I've put together from Record Ragnarock. We didn't buy in any Record Ragnarock packs. I was only interested in Adam, and it didn't seem to be that that great a seller, really, so that was why. So let us look at the second half of these, and oh, we have some foil kitty cats. So this is for Gravida. They are called Gravida Relic, RLYK, and they're 10k grade 2s, and their effect is when this unit attack hits, search your deck or drop zone for up to one meteorite card, put it into your order zone, and if you search your deck, shuffle your deck. So it means that the opponent kind of feels like they have to guard these attacks. Otherwise you're getting free meteors, and if they don't guard, then meteors. So this was actually a tech that I saw from a deck that won a tournament over in Malaysia that was playing 4 of this in Gravida, and I realised that no one in the Bush Road Rumble Online, the BRO, was actually playing these, and I was thinking, no one else is aware. This is a really, really strong card, and I decided to look out, and I only had 2 of it in foil, so this is my other 2, so this is giving me my play set of 4. So very, very cool to see those. The story behind this was I'd always intended to get the SP Varina because it was the last card for my Varina deck that I'm missing. I mean, technically I'm missing the second version of the DSR Mahar Nirvana, the one that's got the UU and the Femme outfit. But so I'm missing that as well. But this was sitting there for £25, and I thought, well, with set 6 coming out and there being a brand new Varina Nirvana deck, I didn't see this sticking around for long. I thought the ones of these that do exist are probably going to disappear, so I thought I should get it just now rather than waiting. So these, let's go over these quickly. These are the remaining tokens that I needed. You can see here they are mainly plant tokens. We have 2 Moke tokens. But I realised that I was missing some of these. So let us now show these. So I've got 2 foil Moke and 1 foil plant. And on the back of the foil ones, you can't see it because it's in a proper sleeve. But on the back of the foil ones is just a regular Vanguard card. But on the back of the regular tokens, like so, you have these cool little art pieces, and it turns out that there's 14 of them. So I've got a foil plant token as well, and of the 14 I only had 7 of them. So I went out of my way and tracked down the remaining ones and snagged all of those as well. So we have the Planet Cray, you've got the Fire Regalius, Roroa, Redelinia, Maple, Mikane, and Rureri and Rurami, which of course are the twins for the Fox Girl deck. The Fox Girl deck is here. And I'm not sure, but I think each of the backup guys are the going seconds, and each of the main ride lanes are the going firsts. I think that's how it works. So let's just check that out. Yeah, absolutely. So all the ones that say going second are the backup, the backup units, whether they're grade 2s or grade 3s, and the ones that say going first are part of the main ride line units. So that's me. I now have all 14 of these, which is very, very cool. These are going to go into my Roroa deck with the Momokis and the plant tokens. I'm going to have to get them sleeved, but unfortunately the sleeves aren't here. They are in the shop. They're in KC. And now we continue with the Record Ragnarock. So these ones are the triple rares. And it's interesting because the triple rare and the Record Ragnarock rare are very different rarities. The triple rare looks like a triple rare, whereas the Record Ragnarock rare actually looks more like a super rare. So that's very kind of interesting. We have 4 of the double rare Adams. We have 3 more of the 7th Valkyrie Girl, which of course we have the singular SP of. We have 4 of the Perfect Guard. That's the effect Perfect Guard, of course. We've got 4 of this guy. So he's not actually a man or Valkyrie. He's actually one of the gods. He is the Watchman of the Apocalypse Heimdall. But when this unit is placed in rear guard, you and your opponent both countercharge, which I thought, I could see that being useful. Even if I don't use it, it's nice to have. We have the last remaining 3 effect crit triggers, and then we have the 4 effect front triggers. So, now that I've shown you the unboxing, and this is the full Record Ragnarock Adam deck, let's go over what the deck is actually going to look like. So, let me just gather these things up very quickly. Just like so. And then, of course, the triggers. So this is what I've initially got planned for the deck. So we have our starting Vanguard. Unfortunately, there's no starting Vanguard for Adam. All of the starting Vanguards are either the gods or Brunhildide. So I decided to go with Thor. With the Brunhildide triple rare starting Vanguard, it doesn't matter what your starting Vanguard is because you're just going to Soul Blast it anyway. We have 4 regular crits, which we're going to take one of these out. So we're going to play 3 of the regular crits, which all of which are in Record of Ragnarok Rare, which is very cool to see. We're going to be playing the 4 effect crits, which we only have 1 in Record of Ragnarok Rare, and the other 3 are just regular rares. So we're going to be playing 7 crit in the deck. We are also going to be playing the 4 effect draws. I don't think we're going to play the fronts in this deck, but I mean, I could be wrong. So the 4 effect draws are going to go over here, like so. And we have, of course, the 4 heal triggers. There's no effect heals for Record Ragnarok, so you just deal with regular heals. And then lastly, we have, of course, the Record Ragnarok over trigger. And this over trigger's additional effect is if all of your front row man and Valkyrie units get plus 10,000 until the end of the turn, and choose one of your rear guards and stand it, which is probably the weakest over trigger that we've actually got. I mean, even the lyrical one is for the rest of the game, all of your rear guards get plus 10,000, and this is only your front row gets plus 10,000 until the end of the turn. So really it's an over trigger that also is a front trigger, but is also a stand trigger, and I don't think the deck is strong enough to warrant a stand trigger being powerful enough to replace the effect of an over trigger. So cards we are not going to be playing are going to be the 4 effect fronts. They're going to be over here to the side, and of course the extra crit. Those aren't going to be played at the moment, at least that I'm aware of. We are going to be playing the 4 effect Perfect Guards. Of course, these are just the same effect as the regular Perfect Guards. When placed, if you've got 2 or more cards in hand, discard a card from your hand, and then Perfect Guard. And if you've got 1 or less card in hand, you don't have to discard. So that is the reason for those. We have our Valkyrie Support. So this is quite cool. So let's go over the effects of this. It's easier to read on this card than it is to read in the SP. So let's look at this. So this Volnder with Father of Mankind Adam, and it says this card can be placed as an arms order and armed to a specific unit in Vanguard. This card is no longer a unit when it's been armed. If you have a new Volender armed, put this unit into your drop zone. So the continuous Vanguard skill is if this card is armed to a Vanguard, all the following abilities are active. So as an act, once per turn, you can Soul Blast 2 to draw a card. Auto, when your Vanguard is attacked, you can Counterblast 1 and bind a copy of this from your hand, and increase or decrease the attack of the armed unit with this card to match the attack of the unit until the end of the turn. So what that means is, say your opponent's Vanguard attacks you with a unit that has 45,000 attack, including the boost. You use the effects of this, Counterblast 1, discard this, and then Adam's attack becomes 45,000 until the end of the turn. But of course, if you get any additional triggers or such, that also adds to him, so he goes to 55,000 and so on. But the fact that it makes it the same basis as what the unit attacking it is means that you only need 5k to guard. Well, 5k would make it 1 to pass. But if it's a rear guard that's attacking, then you just play 5k to guard. But also, if the opponent gets an over trigger, it says 100 million here, and then, oh, okay, I'm going to attack you for 100 million and 13,000. Then you just go, okay, I'm just going to do this, and now my attack is 100 million and 13,000. And I'll just guard for 5 to negate the attack. So it's very, very cool, and also the ability to Soul Blast and draw a card each turn is also very, very cool. You're going to see that there's a lot of cards in the deck that actually soul charge. So we're definitely playing that at 4. So let's look at the main raid line now that we've got to this part. So this grade 1, of course, the real grade 1 that I want to play is the, when it's played, Soul Blast 1, search your deck for a man or a Valkyrie with vulnerability, which is this card, and add it to your hand. But this one is when it's placed by raiding on Brunhild, so you're supposed to have the Brunhild starting Vanguard. You Soul Blast 1, look at the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom of your deck, and then draw a card. So that ability, not very good, but the triple rare ability, much, much better. So that's what we're going to pretend that is. And also I won't be entering this into any major event, so don't worry if I'm using proxies. Like, it's never going to be used in a national levels event or anything. So the grade 2, this is the first of the raid line that you actually get for Adam. When this unit is rode upon by Father of All Mankind Adam, search your deck for man's first wife Eve, call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. So this is when you raid into the main grade 3, you get to just search your deck for Eve and call her to rearguard. And this is Father of All Mankind Adam, which of course is the Ragnarock rare. His Vanguard skill is Counterblast 1, and all your rearguards get plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. And when this unit attacks, if you have 2 or more rearguards, it gets plus 5. And if you have 4 or more rearguards, it gets plus 10 instead of plus 5. So it's not an incredibly strong ability. This is a fairly weak deck, if I'm honest. It's very, very weak, to say the least. But we're going to continue on. I'm going to show you what it does anyway. So of course we are playing the 3 Persona raids because, good lord, does the deck need it. It needs that extra boost in power. This is one of the best things in the deck. You know, it negates attacks. So we do have an additional 3 of these, but it only has the effect on Vanguard. The only reason that I wanted to get a playset is because it has the name Adam in its name, and you're going to see why that is important a little bit later on. So we have 4 of our rearguard Adams that says if you're well, on Guardian Circle, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is a man or Valkyrie, this unit gets plus 5,000 defense. So he's a 10k guard in hand or 10k interceptor, if you want to call it rearguard circle. So that is what his purpose is there. So we're going to put them there as well. All the grade 2s and 3s in this deck are all Adams. This is the double rare, which is a slightly better card, which is when this unit attacks, if your grade 3 or greater Vanguard is a unit with Adam in its name or a Valkyrie, this unit gets plus 5 until the end of the battle. And on rearguard or Guardian Circle, if your Vanguard is a man or Valkyrie and your opponent is grade 3 or greater, this unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. So it has resist, and it's also a 15k attacker, and it does nothing else. But having that resist ability and also just being 15k is quite good for this deck. It's not good for many decks, but it's good in this deck at least. So we have the 4 Heimdalls, which I'm not going to use at the moment, but I wanted to keep them because this is on place both you and your opponent counter charge. And I thought, well, I can see that if I'm running, if I play with this deck and I realise that counter blasts are low, then that is something that can go into the deck because the deck doesn't have a counter charge engine. We do have our 4 Eves, and Eve's skill is if your Vanguard is Father of All Mankind Adam, rest this unit, soul charge, so that gives you soul, so you can soul blast 2 to draw a card. Choose one of your units with Adam in its card name, and that unit gains this unit's attack until the end of the turn. So Adam and Eve do actually work together, because you use Adam's effect, Counterblast 1, and give all your regards +5, which means that Eve's go to 13, and then you rest her, soul charge, and then you can give 13 to Adam. But if you've got multiple Eves on your field, you can rest like 3 of them and give 13, 26, 39 to Adam to make Adam very, very huge, and then the opponent is basically in a situation where they either perfect guard it, or they have to use like half their hand to guard an attack. So that's about the best that this deck does. But also, this is just choose a unit with Adam in its name, so you can choose this guy or you can choose this guy as well on rearguard circles. It doesn't have to be your Vanguard, so that is other options you've got. We're going to play 4 of Rousing Oldest Son Kane, which is put this unit into Soul, choose one of your units with Adam in its card name, and it gets +5 until the end of the turn. So this is Soul Charge, but also gives your Adam units +5. It would be better if I gave it a little bit more, you know, if it was put this into Soul and give a unit this unit's attack or something. And then we're going to play 3 of Cheering Second Son Abel, which is when this unit's placed in rearguard, if you have a unit with Adam in its card name and an exiled from Eden Eve on your Vanguard or rearguard circle, Counterblast 1, draw a card, then choose a card from your hand and call it to rearguard circle. So this is a little bit more of a draw engine, but you have to actually call a card from hand. You don't just get to keep the card. And we have a 4th one of that just in case. But I didn't like the Counterblast cost of this, because I would rather use a Counterblast cost for this, and every turn I think you're just going to have to Counterblast 1 for Adam, just to make the rest of your deck actually big enough to hit. So I think this is the full deck. Let me check. Is there anything missing? Okay, so we have 16 triggers and 4 perfect guards, which is 20 cards. Then we have the red line, which is 24. So we have 26 cards remaining. So of those 26 cards, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26. There we go. That is the full 50 card deck, and that is what I'm probably going to play in just a little fun game in KC. I'm probably not going to use it in the actual tournament. Probably in the actual tournament itself, I'm going to play Gravida with the brand new Kitty Cats. So I think that is what I am planning. And also, we have managed to accomplish completing our little set of these cool little Regalia tokens from set 5. And if I want to split up out anything, at least I've got the effect front here. If I want to play 8 crit, then I've got the 8th crit as well. And if I want to play more Adams, I've got more of the grade 2 Adam from the right line. You know, let me just separate this out just a little bit so that everyone can be seen. We go, something like that. Just off camera, okay. Well, I mean, you can see Adam up here anyway. So, I think that is going to be it for this little video, folks. I don't know how this deck is going to play. I don't think it's going to be very strong, if I'm very, very honest with you. But the only other thing that I could say that could maybe improve this deck is if you play more of the triple rare Brunhildide, which is on place. Well, it's on place on Vanguard or Rearguard. Soul Blast 1, search your deck for a man or Valkyrie and add it to hand. And then if you add a card, if it's placed on Rearguard, you discard a card from your hand as well. But I think it might be good to try and get out more of these, because that can essentially nullify an opponent's turn, sort of, which is probably the best thing that this deck has actually going for it. Other than that, I don't think it's that good a deck. I don't think the Overtrigger's all that good. I don't think the Rearguards do enough. I think if it gets a second wave of support, that would be cool. But I think if Ragnarock gets a second wave of support, they'll probably more focus on things like Jack the Ripper and such that we haven't actually seen fight yet in Season 1. I think it'd probably more be the Season 2 cards that they would focus on. So I'm not expecting this deck to get any support. I think this is pretty much what the deck is, unfortunately. Still, though, it is a cheap little deck to get. It doesn't cost very much at all. But is it going to be any good? Well, we'll find out in KC. So that's going to be it for this video, folks. I really hope that you all enjoyed, and if you did enjoy it, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you click that notification icon so you can see when more of these videos go up. And we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.